let us feel the center of our awareness, our consciousness as a very bright light. Let us close the eyes and try to see that light which is center of our being, and let us feel that light spreading throughout our personality, permeating every particle. I see I am light. And lo and behold, as I see this, I see the whole universe, everything around is also permeated by this same one light. There is no separate I or mine. The whole universe, whole existence is this most beautiful, very bright, and yet very soothing effulgence. I am this infinite ocean of consciousness. Free, ever free. Time and space cannot limit me. I am existence itself. I am knowledge itself. I am the bliss itself. I am perfection itself. I am that. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us open our eyes and try to feel the same one awareness in everything. And now let us turn towards the topic that has been assigned for today's discussion. The title is somewhat unusual for the Vedanta lectures and also somewhat catchy. It is the biggest cover-up story. Cover-up is, you see, when certain facts or certain things, some events that you do not want people to know about, you put a cover on it, and thus those things remain unknown to people. They don't get any inkling of it. Even the cover-up story, that the cover-up story comes only when the cover is removed. Till then it is not a cover-up. It is not known that something is being hidden. And we know many such incidents throughout the history. Not too long ago there was the Watergate thing in United States, a cover-up story. Something happened and public was not supposed to know what happened, and therefore a cover was put on it. But then you see, the truth has a way to come out. So the cover gets blown, and then you see what really was there. Many criminals, they cover up their acts. When there is nothing to cover, why should one take trouble to cover? There is some reason to cover, make people not know. And therefore those who are criminals, usually they cover their act and do not let people understand what's happening, or who took away the money or whatever, or who committed this crime. People do not come to know about it. There is something happened, one starts looking for it, but you don't find it till the cover is blown away and you find out. There are many tricks used for that. It is, for example, the person who committed the crime goes into hiding, changes the name and whatever, so many, changes the appearance and so forth. Of course, sometimes there is misunderstanding too. Swami Sardananji used to tell a story that how things appear to be covered up, but really not covered up. He told a story that it was an allegory to to show that how people think that which is changing as unchanging, and substitute what is really unchanging with something changing. So there were some customers came to a sweetmeat shop and then bought some sweets, and then they paid in some big currency note, but the sweetmeat shop didn't have the change to give them back. So he said, okay, doesn't matter, you are the first customer. In a few, say 10-15 minutes more will come and I will get enough cash, or even if I don't get, I will go to another place and get it for you, and then you will get your change back. Give me, say 10-15 minutes, half an hour. And they said, fine, very good. In the meantime, they drank that they shouldn't have, but they drank a lot of alcohol and got the things a bit mixed up. After a while, people started hearing big noise from a barber shop. They were quarreling with the barber. Hey, give us our money back that we paid you. Said, well, when did you? Well, we bought sweets. You are covering up just to not to give us back our money. Instead of the sweetmeat shop, now you have put a barber shop, and also you change your face. Instead of you shaved your beard. We are not fools. We will not get deceived by such things. Before leaving, we had seen a bull was sitting right across your shop. Now the bull after a while moved and went to the other shop, Now they went and started fighting with this. So there was really no cover up, but they were accusing that you covered up, you just to take our money, you didn't want to give back the change, and so you change your appearance, you change the appearance of the shop, but we are not going to get cheated by such things. We are intelligent people. Give us our money back. So there was no cover up, but they imagined cover up. So, but most of the times something happens and then the criminals, they cover it. It is not only they cover, there is an attempt to divert the probe, to make the authorities go in another direction to investigate the crime. They make scenes in such a way that somebody else would get this blame. Somebody else will be accused of the crime that the fellow didn't commit. So they make the arrangements in such a way that there is a story of Sherlock Holmes. Do anybody read Sherlock Holmes? Okay, so some have read probably that story. It's a nice story that in some of the statements there I love a lot. It is a man who committed a murder, but the purpose of committing murder was not just to commit that murder, to put the blame on somebody so that both will get eliminated. So this man, he is murdering, and the blame of the murder will surely, he made such arrangements that the blame would go to this man, covered up things in such a way and that the police officers thought that, well, this is the murderer. No, all the evidence is right there. And then this man who was accused, he hired Holmes, that you say, I didn't do anything, I don't know anything, what happened? But all the evidence was pointing out to him that, well, you came, you left your stick here yesterday, isn't it your stick? Yes, my stick. What time did you come? This time. What time the murder might have happened? Just after when you were around here. You went back at that time from here, isn't it? Yes. And exactly at that time the murder happened. So who else? You are the culprit. And they just arrested him. He was trying to find out, how I didn't do anything. And then the police officer said, okay, no, all evidence is there, all this. So Holmes made a statement there that yes, all evidence is there, no doubt, but firstly, the body is there, this is there, the body is smeared with blood, but we do not see any say finger impression of this man. Had there been, the case would have been foolproof, and there wouldn't have a problem with the judge would have immediately granted it, that yes, this is the culprit, and put him to punishment, usually a death punishment for murder. So, but there is nothing, had it been there, the case would have been foolproof. But okay, with this evidence also, circumstantial evidence, we can still make our case, let us say. We will investigate further. The next day they both came. This police officer had reached earlier before Holmes, and then as Holmes came, he greeted him with a big smile. See, yesterday we overlooked, that, but here is the blood mark that I say, the fingerprint of the blood. Exactly, you see, now the case is foolproof. And Holmes said, now the case is foolproof, this man has not committed the murder. How do you know? All evidence is there now, even the fingerprint is there. And Holmes said, well, yesterday this fingerprint was not there. And he makes us that the actual culprit is covering up everything, must be here somewhere. And then they found him out, and then he makes a statement that is not in the context, but I like it, so I am telling you that it is. I use that in many contexts to a great effect, and it's a great learning. That statement that he makes there is that. You see, he was doing everything perfectly, but he is not really a perfect con artist. A perfect artist knows where to stop. He overdid it. When we were discussing, he heard this and then applied a fingerprint after we were all gone. So, actually that is how this is a cover-up story, but that when the cover blew away, then we know that that's a cover-up story. Till then it is not realized that it is cover-up story. It doesn't necessarily have the context of crime. Even in play, we all must have played hide-seek in our childhood, hide-seek. Somebody hides and then the others have the job of finding this fellow out where he or she is hiding. So it's a fun game, very nice. And there too people would hide in such a way, that it is very difficult to find. Not only that, One of my friends was a good expert in that, my childhood friend. He would arrange things in such a way that we will try to find him in some other place. The tactics of digression, that it is, he is hiding in one place, but we would go to find him, and then, hey, you say, yeah, it is here. The sound came, from there, and so let us go there. Must be certainly hiding there. So, even in sports, we do that cover up. Many times when the teams are also playing, they try to hide their strategies. Because if they open up their strategies, the opponents would know and they will not be able to win the game. So they try to cover it up. Their strengths, they try to project those strengths as weakness and weakness as strengths. So that the other team is kind of misled. So it happens, cover-ups happen in many cases, not necessarily always with a bad motive or a criminal intent. It has the fun thing also. But it is always, you can see that in every cover-up case, we get a glimpse of the truth. We at least feel that something is not right. We have to probe deeper. That is why we keep on trying to know things. This universe is like that. We keep on looking for answers here. Something is hidden. That is why we keep on doing research, is it not? Something is not known. We have to probe deeper. Something looks covered up. And so we try to find out where this thing is. And it gets sometimes, for some people it gets blown and then they discover the truth. But still, apart from them, for others it is still covered. And so all of them keep on looking for it. Where is it? And just as in that game, or even in a criminal probe, until you find the right person, the probe is not over. Always the game, if you are thinking in terms of the game, then the game is not over till you find a person. And so looking is going on, the search is going on, research goes on till we discover the truth. But in this big cover-up game too, we are misled most of the times. We are where the thing is hiding, we do not see. There is another cover-up story, another similarly this is a detective story by some other writer, that a very important letter, document was, somebody was looking for it. A thief was looking for it and was an expert thief, was expert in breaking the locks, entering everywhere, finding it. And so he was looking for it everywhere, here and there, but couldn't find anything. And when now the document became meaningless, the things were already settled, then he asked his owner, well, now you can tell me, now there is that I looked for everything. I looked into attic. I also, if you had hidden it between the floorings, I also looked into that, didn't find. You might have kept it in the walls somewhere. I tried to look into there also, didn't find anywhere. I am sure that it was not there. I looked into all drawers, opened everything, and didn't find it. Where had you kept it? Where did you keep? And he said, well, I knew you are an expert thief. You are expert at all these things. So I was pretty sure, had I hidden it any of these places, you would have surely found it. So I had kept it right on the desk. It was right on the top of the desk. And so you were misled. There is a similar story that they tell that at that border left between Canada and US, there was the secret agents had the information that this man is smuggling things across the border, and so keep a watch and always check what he brings in his cars, because he is a smuggler. We know that and they kept on checking what he, and nothing was found on him. And they were perplexed. After this officer got retired, he met him in a coffee shop. He said, now I am retired. Well, can you tell? We always had information on you, but could never find anything. What you were bringing from the cars, that every time we searched your car thoroughly, nothing was found. What were you smuggling? And he said, I was smuggling the cars. I was smuggling the cars. Nothing in the car, but car itself was being smuggled. So right, obvious, you say, and the obvious answer is missed. So it's like that many times the answer is right in front of us, but we do not see it. And that would be a very nice cover-up. Because we will always look at something hidden somewhere, and we will spend lot of energy, lot of time, spend maybe whole life in searching for it, and will not find it. So this is a wonderful cover-up game. And here in the world we are looking for truth. Everybody, all scientists, they are looking for, let us discover the final truth. That how is this universe made? Who we are, what the universe is. Let us break every particle. Okay, we got the hold of atoms. Break that further and see what is the particle that has made everything. Well, still the riddle remains just intact. The research keeps on going, grants keep on coming, universities, you see all that, and they keep on going with their research, because the truth is not yet found in all different directions. You go globally, universally, all over. How this universe is functioning, how black holes are made and how white holes are made. Is there anything like white holes or just black holes? No white holes. Okay. So it is, maybe tomorrow sometimes they will discover white holes also. Science is always about new discoveries, so it is. They found black holes, so why not white holes? So it is. So it is all these going on, and every time we feel, hey, now just this secret is just a little away. We have almost got it. We have almost got it. It is like that, that they tell the nice funny story, you must have heard it, but just think of it again, that it is the Americans said that, well, Our flights, our aircrafts, they go so high. We have learned all that technique. They just almost touch the heavens. Just the heavens, just about an inch below heaven, not exactly. The Russians, we are better experts under the water. Our submarines touch just, they touch the ground under the ocean, the rock bottom of oceans. Oh, they hit there? No, just about an inch above. Now the Indian fellow didn't have anything to boast about. We Indians eat through the nose, Hey, eat through the nose, just an inch below. So, isn't it vital? We eat an inch just from the nose, an inch below, that's all. So, it is, the discoveries are going on and on without actually finding the truth. It is, where is the truth? It is the sages who discovered, they tell us how to discover it. We are looking for happiness. How hard we try to get happiness. All our actions are directed to get happiness, and we think that it is just a little away. Yes, people think that when I am out of my high school, it will be all happiness. It is, the children, they want to grow up big quickly so that they will be quite powerful. They will be free. They will have their freedom. It is some years back, a couple of years, not too much. One girl, the mom was telling her, "Hey, see, don't do like that. You are still child. Mom, I am now pre-teen." She announced pre in a low voice, teen in a loud voice. So it is, "Mom, I am now pre-teen." So it is, so she was, thinking that all this is the bondage and all that she is in. Quickly it is going to be over. But people keep on growing, the bondage remains the same, suffering remains the same, only the names of the sufferings keep on changing. That's all. It's this different name to the suffering that is given, But suffering, isn't it a mystery that we try so hard to get happiness? Does anybody try to get suffering? Nobody here. Shalini, do you try to get suffering? No, nobody tries to get suffering. And what do we get? While running to get more happiness, we end up getting more suffering. And people feel, it is, no, I am just, living alone. If I found a right spouse, then all will be happy. And then people realize soon after that it is not so simple. It is, but that is how we search, keep on looking for happiness. Things start in search of, truth. The other day in Providence, that was the topic for discussion. Truth should be simple, is it not? The truth is the simplest thing. But we get into complications to find the truth, Logically speaking, if we think the more complicated we become, the truth recedes from us. Truth is the simplest thing. That is what the teachers of non-duality say. What can be simpler than one? Nothing can be simpler than one. It is two and you get into complications, One, no complication. Two, then from two you get the whole universe, you see. It is, those of you who know these days computers, and it is just the binary, these things that creates the whole universe. Everything can be just presented as combination of 0 and 1. If you go to, let's see that everything can be simulated, can be manufactured actually as a product of this yes and no, or the circuits are made, the current can pass or cannot pass, that's it. And just that is how the logical gates of logic, and thus from that you make everything. So, and we feel that like that making things more complicated will lead to truth. Are we not going in the opposite direction? Just think about it. The truth is the simplest. One without second. And yet we go in the opposite direction. So the sages told, this is a cover-up story. And since this is the cover-up story of the God and God's power, Mahamaya, this cover-up story is also a most wonderful cover-up story. It is cover-up, and again you are put into on the wrong track. It is there is something is hidden. There is a cover, but it is not just a cover that hides the reality. It projects something else there, and you get involved into it, and thus do not see the truth. In Sanskrit, these two words come up there, that covering is called Avarana Shakti. That this divine reality has two powers. Both actually just do this cover-up job. One is the power to cover, other is the power to project. Avarana Shakti and Vikshep Shakti. So Vikshep Shakti, what does it do? Instead of that one divine self, you see this world with infinite variety. I and mine, and they, theirs, this, that. This infinite variety is seen, it is projected, unending. Imagine, how varied this universe is. And it is actually what it is. It is the one reality that you are looking for, the one source of happiness that you are looking for, the one source of perfection that you are looking for. But you are looking for it in the wrong way, in a completely different direction, and therefore you cannot find it. Therefore the technique is desuperimpose. It is, so they call it Adhyaropa Apavada. The Sanskrit words are like superimposition and desuperiimposition. The truth by the God, who is very playful. That is why we see that this whole thing is the play of God, hide and seek. The God hiding, went into hiding, but hiding in such a skillful way that we are not able to discover. We are discovering. That is why we are not satisfied here. Till we discover, and no satisfaction in this world is possible, friends. When I was telling it just a few days back, I had gone to give a talk, not on this topic, but this idea did come there in that lecture too, that we will not find satisfaction till we discover this truth. And one gentleman took an exception to this, that why isn't it a very depressing thought? Why shall we not find, see all these, we should have ambitions in life, and you should tell that doing this you will find satisfaction in life. And if you become President of United States, you will find satisfaction. Think of the President, what kind of satisfaction can a President expect, you say? Impossibility. But yet we think that we should have such ambitions, and then that will be the satisfaction in life. So he was a bit upset that why am I telling this? I said, well, my experience tells me that you will not get, how can I tell just to make you, no, I mean we come here to, feel peaceful, and here you are telling something that, well, we will not be able to achieve but we want to achieve success in this world, and this success will bring us to happiness. I said, that is the superimposition. And that is, it is impossible. Do you not see that who got satisfaction in this way? Then give me one example that this person got was the ambition fulfilled, and the life was then all full of satisfaction. They tell that fairy tales, And the fairy tales, they say that, well, they got each other's hand and got married, and the story ends there, because nothing further is left to be told. It is just they write, and they lived happily ever after. It is what happy, they never tell that. It is. Because there is nothing to tell really, there is no, it is, so they wisely end the story right there. They lived happily thereafter. I said, well, sorry, I am not here to tell you something that will just give you a false hope. No, I am here to shatter false hopes. Whether you like it or you don't like it, what can I do? It is. So, that is the case, that we have to be fearless, bold, and see, examine what did we get here? Did we not try enough? Did we not even see so many people trying to uncover this in this way to get happiness in life? We saw. Did they get happiness? No. Then how much chance do you stand to get it? Lord Buddha, there is a very nice story in his life. He told that everything is full of suffering, and this whole world is full of suffering. But he told us that, do we not observe? Observe, It is that, again, that thing I like from that Sherlock Holmes stories. That in one of that story, he was predicting, not predicting, just apparently just guessing that, well, this person must be working as a typist and has been, somewhat blind by one eye and so forth. So it is, and his assistant said that, well, why, you must be seeing something more than we see. And he replied stoically, no, I see the same thing as you see, but I observe, you just see. And what is this observing? Observing means whatever you see, from that you derive a conclusion. That is called observing. That is why when we make experiments in laboratories, it is said observations. What did you observe? So what does it mean? That whatever you see, just seeing and passing it, that's not observation. It means that you have taken a note of it and then use it to learn further. That becomes a stepping stone for your drawing a conclusion. So these people had come to see him, to Lord Buddha, and he said that they were doing certain practices in the name of religion under some teacher to see God. Then I'm just paraphrasing the words. Actually, the words in the original story are a little different. It is, he asked them that, okay, so you have been doing it. Did you see God by that? And no, we didn't. Okay, your teacher who does all these things, did he see it? And no, he didn't. His teacher, did he see that? No, we believe he also didn't see. Do you know anybody who doing these things happen to see God? No, we don't know. Okay, then let us think like this. Suppose you are suffering, you are having some sickness, some health issue, and somebody gives you a medicine. And then take this medicine and you will be all right. And if you ask that person, did you get cured by taking this medicine? No. Well, those who told you about this medicine, did they get cured by using this medicine? No. Do you know anybody who was cured by taking this medicine? No. How likely are you going to take that medicine then? No, obviously you will not take that medication. So, similarly, what are you doing? Just think of it. This applies to our lives a great deal. This is the cover-up story. How nicely this cover is made, that even though we experience ourselves, we see the experience of millions and millions of people, that neither the truth, nor happiness, nor satisfaction lies here. Yet we cannot stop this search in the same thing again and again. Have you ever seen somebody running to catch horizon and caught it? Never. So we understand that it is not right, it is foolish to go to catch horizon. But are we not doing that? It is trying to catch horizon. Like horizon looks, okay, a little bit and I will get it. Just looks 3 miles away. Let me run faster. You will keep running whole life without getting there. So it appears that just happiness is just here. The truth is just here. Let this experiment be successfully completed, and then, I will discover the truth. No, it's just running towards horizon to catch it. No, it won't be found. But the biggest cover-up has this element too. And this is a wonderful play, that it is right in front of you. You are looking for it everywhere, just trying to see every nook and corner, but not in the right way. It is actually right within you. It is within you. It is everywhere. That was the meditation, friends, that we were doing, isn't it? That what you think of you is really the whole universe. And then you see this riddle just gets solved. Then this truth gets revealed. Then the cover is blown up. This is the process that is called in Vedanta text as apavada. Remove this covering in the right way and you see the truth right there. It is everywhere you will see the same one reality. There is a very nice Hindi song, that one of our Swamis used to sing. It's from an old movie actually. That song is that तू ढूंढता है जिसको बसती में जाग के बन में, वो सावरा सलोना रहता है तेरे मन में. That it is that. Do you know to sing this song, Gautam?
No.
It's a very nice song. You can sing sometimes, Mm-hmm. It is it is that you search for that hidden reality, that source of all happiness, the source of all love, but you are not seeing it in the right way, that you are going from this place to that place, and that song continues, that it is you go to masjid, you go to mandir, but you miss, because all is really that. You are trying to find some piece, that it is he, the truth, but it is pervaded in everything. You are missing because it is all pervading. That it is, he describes all that here, there, everywhere you are looking for it. But actually in all these vibrations, लहरा रहा है वो ही खुद अपने बाकपन में. Bakapan is a beautiful word there. Bakapan means in your somewhat deceptive way, you are spread everywhere, and your sound is coming from every mouth. Everything that you are seeing, that divine is pulsating, that you can see that. It is, if you see that, and one has to learn for that, how much time is there?
Till 9.
Okay, till 9. Okay. Yeah, because this subject is such that we can keep on discussing for a long time, and so I'm looking, another 15-20 minutes are there. So it is here one has to see that that divine principle is covered, and therefore, although everywhere, I am not seeing it anywhere. Although everywhere, see what a great cover-up. That divine is everywhere. And I am not finding it anywhere. I keep on praying. Well, the life goes when praying for many things. Hardly ever we pray for God. That is how again there is this deception, that we pray to get from God and not God as such. And God, give me this, give me that, make such arrangement that I will be always healthy, make such arrangement that I will always be a rich person, lot of money will come my way. Lord, just it all depends on you, O Lord, please do this. We want from God. We don't care for God. God realization, we have heard about it. Maybe when I grow old, then I will think about it. Because this young age passes very quickly. While before it passes away, before it goes away, let me grab all the pleasures that I can grab. And then, see, it's a big cover-up. It is that it is. Thus we do not make the use of the youthful energy and youthful intelligence, youthful mental agility to get to the truth. And then when old age comes, already the body has lost strength, mind has lost enthusiasm, and so forth. You see, it is what can you do? That is another cover-up. That you think that okay, I will do it at the time of old age. Till now there is many other things can be done now, and then later on I will at the right time. And we misunderstands those quotes that Lord has told in Bhagavad Gita. And we pick up that piece from Bhagavad Gita. In the 8th chapter, Lord said that that anybody who just takes my name at the time of death, that person, just think of me at the time of death, and then I will just express myself to that person. That person will become identified with me just at the death. That if that person remembers me, that should be good enough. And so Subeta thinks, okay, so now just remember, right now God doesn't want us to remember him. We will remember, now there is lot of time to die. Before I die, you see, so let me finish other things. And right at the time of death, then I will start thinking about God. Firstly, who is going to die when nobody knows? Therefore, the Lord sees that we are thinking in this deceptive way. We are so good at self-deception, We think that we are cheating others, but actually we cheat ourselves and think that we are cheating others. Like that person, she was telling that, I cheated the airliner. I bought the ticket and didn't board the flight. Now who got cheated? It is, I didn't board the flight, then what airliner got its money for free. It might have made a double profit on it. So it is like that, you see, that we feel we have cheated others. So, I will wait till. So Lord says in the next verse that tasmat, therefore, since this is the case, that you will, if you take my name or think of me At the time of death, you will come to God, you will come to me. Therefore, Lord should have said, so now don't worry, just think of God at the time of death, and for now keep on running after money. It is, God says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Therefore, at all times, Mamanusmara. Therefore, at all times, think of me, Yuddhacha, and keep on doing your duty. Keep on doing your duty and keep on thinking about me. Exactly as Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, that keep on doing your work, but keep mind in God. Not that, keep mind in the world and do work for God. That is what we tend to do, reverse, that keep the mind in the world and then think of doing the work for the God. Did my puja for today as if a work has been completed, you say. It is not that God thinks of your work. Mind, put mind in God and do your work. What is there is no problem in that. Keep on doing your work and keep on thinking about God, so that the death will not be able to catch you unawares. So, but because of this cover-up, we do not see this, and we keep on just go in the opposite direction, and we are put on the wrong track. So it is like this all the time. We are right in front of the truth. All the time we are seeing it. It is that Kenopanishad, one of the great Upanishads, very brief, one of the very short Upanishads, but it brings out this truth that divine is what you see in every pulsation of awareness. The words are so poignant, so much stuff with very rich content. That art of presenting the highest truths in such few and great words, you can learn it from Upanishads. Very brief, very succinct. It is said in that verse, Pratibodh Viditam Matam. In every pulse of your awareness, in every moment of your awareness, you are actually perceiving that reality, that truth, without knowing it, that's all. You are not aware what you are seeing. And that is how, although it is everywhere, you are not seeing anything but God. Swami Vivekananda mentions, paraphrasing this verse, that in our whole life we have not seen anything but God. What? You have not seen anything but God. But you do not know that. It is because that is the reality. It is that verse of Kenopanishad says, Pratibodh Viditam Matam. And as you see this truth in every pulsation and every vibration of your awareness, that God alone is there, that truth alone is there. And what happens with that awareness? Now you say, found out. The life becomes fulfilled life. It is as one of the Marathi great saints says, Soniyacha divasa amrute vodala, then that golden day of your life appears. Yes, now you see this truth and all search is over. The life reaches at that stage where you see you are perfect. All desires are fulfilled. No desire is left anymore. You don't look for happiness from something else. You see that you are happiness. You are happiness. Where are you going to look for it, dear? You are happiness. So this appears, this truth comes. So amritatvam hi vindate, pratibodha viditam matam, amritatvam hi vindate. And then the next line, Upanishads, they bring you the highest truth in the very poetic manner. But they are not those emotional poets. They are very practical, and they are not giving you just poetry like the poets. They also tell many nice things, but they not practical. It is okay, sounds good, feels a soothing sensation, very good. But it is not just poetry of that type. It is a practical thing. So they say very good, but how will you get it? Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vidyate mrutam. It's just one line which describes a lot of spiritual practice in a condensed way. It is to be meditated upon, friends. It is a big file that has a small name, The file names are very small that you can easily, recognize. And but when you click on it, a big file opens up. So it's like that. This is just the name of the file. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amritam. That Atmana, just keep on thinking of it as Atma, your true self. And then that will, when you keep on meditating on that, what will happen? That you will feel more assured, powerful. All the power will come up in you. All the fears will disappear. All that you were thinking in this world, one of the features of our life here is fear. We are always scared of something or the other. What will happen tomorrow, we don't know. Whether my job will remain or not, who knows. And whether my health will be good or bad, who knows. What will happen to me in old age, who knows. All fear, It is. And how can we be fearless? Well, know that you are indestructible. You are Amrita. Nothing can destroy you. You are everything. You are in each and everything. So there is no destruction for you. It is, you are the source of everything. The universe, whole universe is nothing but you. Isn't it? Just think of it. Have you ever seen? And this is a very simple experiment anybody can do. Is there experience of world without you? When you are, then the world is. You are not, the world is not. And when you go to sleep, the world vanishes. There is no world for you. When you wake up, the world appears. When you are seeing dream, the world also is a dream world. As you are, so is the world. You are the maker. It is you who are filled in this whole world. Just as you are filled in the dream world, here also you are really filled in the whole world. There is nothing but you alone. And that is that Atmana Vindate Vidyam Vidyaya Vindate Mritam. This knowledge will remove all fear. It will make you aware of your immortal and blissful nature. What is in this beggar's life, friends? This is, we are all living a beggar's life, begging for happiness. Oh money, give me a little happiness. Oh man, give me a little happiness. Oh woman, give me a little happiness. Is it really a life of happiness? Beggar's life. And all the time, the happiness is right here. Do we not see it, friends? That is this just cover-up story. It is that cover is blown up, gone by this practice. Keep on telling yourself, you are the self. You may not be able to be successful in just one go because the old habits die hard. It is, even though you know you don't know because of the old impressions. And we had in our kitchen long back, there was one door, but then in the that was not really, it was inconvenient. So when we fashioned the kitchen again, we made another, that door was closed, another door was made there. So, but still because of the old habit, we started going where the door earlier used to be. It took some time to get used to it. Now, after so many years, most of us do not know where that door was. So it is like that. The old impressions, we have to work on them. Keep on, therefore, telling you. Swamiji says that even if you fail 1,000 times, rise up again and say, I am this self. I am truly everywhere. I am in everything. And thus, gradually, if not today, surely tomorrow, this cover will be blown away, and you will see that your true nature and that life will be then a success story. That is, you will get everything that while coming, we were listening to many different hymns, and one of them was Dakshinamurti Stotram. So, it's a beautiful, philosophically very rich hymn, very sweet, and it is in the praise of Guru as Dakshinamurti, the teacher. So, every stanza, except the last one, ends up with Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. This stanza is like this, that Bhuram Bhasya Nalo Nilombara Mahar Natho Himamshu Puna Ityabhati Characharam Sputamidam Yasyaiva Murtyashtakam Nanyat Kinchana Vidyate Vimrishtam Yasmat Parasmad Vibho Tasmai Shri Guru Murti. Here also it is that the next verse doesn't have it. But see, it is this, he mentions here that all this universe in its 8 different forms, these are special tantric terms, means the gross and the subtle forms that we all see and get entangled into, all these forms are the forms of this divine being. There is nothing apart from it. So, no, getting it, that it is, you get everything. So next verse therefore calls it Aishwaryam Avyahatam. Your wealth will be then immeasurable wealth. It is immeasurable. Otherwise, even if you get lot of money, you will keep on begging for more. There is no end to it. You may become the so-called richest man in the world, keep on trying to get still more money. Let us start another business and thus get more money and so forth. It is, but when you see this, Aishwaryam Avyahatam, your Aishwarya, your lordship, your wealth will be inexhaustible, continuous. So, this is what we will get by a very simple exercise. Simple exercise. Instead of running after the imaginary things, go to the real thing. Such a simple thing. And that will bring us this ultimate truth. So let us pray that we get this inspiration and work to blow up this cover. Thank you, friends.
Question.
Is it okay? 9:05. Well, I have no problem. It is
5-10 minutes.
Yeah. So Harichandan says that okay, 5-10 minutes questions are okay. How long the answers? That's a cover-up story. You know, the questions, they cover the answer. So I have to blow the cover, and then sometimes it takes a longer time to blow up the cover. Okay, please. Anybody wants to ask a question? Okay, Shibu.
So Maharaj, you mentioned, so all the work will be towards God. So you put your mind in God and put so you keep doing the work and whereas your mind in God. Now, what I was wondering is how to actually do that. I mean, when you are at the moment of doing the work, how do you actually do the work and your mind is in God?
Well, it is a matter of practice. Remind yourself of doing it. It is like learning anything. When you learn, it is how a baby learns to walk. Now you have become a big everybody, but when we are all babies, gradually how do we learn to walk? I practice slowly, and but the baby really wants to walk. We should therefore really want to put mind in God. If we want, yes, we will be able to do it with proper practice. If the baby has no desire to walk, the baby will not take efforts. But the baby sees the others are walking and wants to just get up and do the things, always wanting to imitate others. So and they do not like the others to help. That little boy, that Devik, that I was playing with, so wanted to get up to that chair himself. If you try to put in there, he would just not agree with that. So what happens in this? Gradually he would learn how to do that. His failures were not deterring him. Okay, I will do it again, I will try again. And the success will be there, for sure. So, it is, one may say that how to do, doing work and putting mind in God. Yeah, it is, we do it all the time, but without putting the mind in God, we put in many other things. So, instead of doing that, put the mind in God. Practice will make it do that. Okay. Yeah, so nobody has any question,
You have to blow the tower up. You already blew the tower up.
Good.